Welcome back. This is chapter 5th, quality, and now I'm going to explain passage number first to you. So here we go. I knew him from the days of my extreme youth because he made my father's boots. So the author, the narrator says here that he knew the character here, the chief character here, from his latter youth because he made his father's boots. That is, his father's boots were made by this man only, and since the father used to visit that shop and he accompanied his father, so he knew him, say, since then. He lived with his elder brother in his shop, which was in a small by street in a fashionable part of London. So this shop was situated in a by street, say in a lane in fashionable part of London. That is, it was situated in London but in a lane, and that was a very fashionable part of London. What else is mentioned here? He lived with his elder brother, and both of them lived in the shop itself. The shop had a certain quite distinction. There was no sign upon it other than the name of Gessler brother. Okay, so the shop was quite different from the other shops because it was plain. It was no decoration. It was not made very fashionable. It didn't have a fashionable look, say. So very plain shop, very simple and plain shop. And outside it had only carried the nameplate or say signboard. The name of, not the nameplate, but the signboard, which only carried the name of the shop and nothing else. It mentioned only Gessler brother. Besides this, no other writing on the signboard, no claims, nothing at all. Everything about the shop was quite simple, quite plain. And in the window, a few pairs of boots, and there in the window, display window, there were only a few pairs of boots. That is, even they didn't put a lot of boots on display. Okay, so he made only what was ordered, and what he made never failed to fit. So what is said about him, he only made boots to order. That is, he made boots when ordered by someone. It was not like he would just make boots and then sell them, but he would only make the boots to order, when ordered. And his boots were so superb, they never failed to fit. They always fitted so fine. To make boots, such boots as he made, seemed to me then, and still seems to me, mysterious and wonderful. So, the boots that he made were, and that time when father bought boots from the shop, and now when the author himself bought boots from the shop, on all the occasion, all the while, the boots seemed very mysterious to him and very wonderful at the same time. That is, they were quite strange and they always puzzled the author. I remember well my shy remarks one day while stretching out to him my youthful foot. Isn't it awfully hard to do, Mr. Gessler? So the author remembered his remark that he made once when he went into the shop and extended his, say, his foot for the measurement and all. When he stretched out his foot, he just made a remark. He said, "Isn't it awfully hard to do? Isn't it very hard to make such a boots that you make?" And his answer, given with a sudden smile from out of his redness of his beard, "It is an art." And he answered with a smile, and he said, "It's an art. It's nothing but an art." It was not possible to go to him very often. His boots lasted terribly, and going to Mr. Gassler, visiting the shop was not easy or could not be frequently made because his boots lasted terribly. His boots had longevity. Having something beyond the temporary, some essence of boot stitched into them, or they were having longevity. It was not temporary. That is, his boots were beyond temporary. It was something like permanent. You bought once, and you need not buy the second one, or say once you bought it, you needed not buy the second one. It felt to him as if some essence of boot making stitched into them. That is, some kind of lifeblood, some kind of the secret of boot making was stitched into those boots, that they last so long. One went in, not as into most shops, but restfully. And going into his shop was not like entering other shops, but one could only enter his shop just like one visiting, one going to a church, a temple, and go so quietly. In the same way, one had to enter his shop. There was no noise inside. There was complete peace. And sitting on the single wooden chair, waited, and as you went in, there you found only one wooden chair placed for the customer to sit there. Wooden chair waited. A guttural sound and tip-tap of his slippers beating the narrow wooden stairs, and he would stand before one without coat. Okay, so as the customer entered, and he gave a call to Mr. Gassler, he would appear there with a guttural sound, with a harsh, a gruff voice. He would appear there, and with the tip-tap of slippers. That is, as he approached the customer from upstairs, so there would be the tip-tap of the slippers beating the wooden stairs, and there would be a gruff voice heard as he would approach. And then suddenly he would be before the customer, who would be there without a coat. A little bent in leather apron, with sleeves turned back, blinking as if awakened from some dream of boots. And then there would appear a man, a little bent, with leather apron and with sleeves turned back, blinking his eyes, winking his eyes, as if awakened from some dream of boots. As if looking at him, one would assume that he was just getting up from his dreams of boot. And I would say, "How do you do, Mr. Gassler? Could you make me a pair of Russian leather boots?" And then You just greet him and say if he could make him Russian leather boots. So this is all for now. Thank you.